Welcome to our regular iSpring webinar series where we discuss e-learning trends, share tips and tricks, and highlight client success stories. My name is Kate. I'm a community manager at iSpring, and I will be your moderator for today's session. And today's webinar is called LMSs for Instructional Designers, everything you need to know. And over the next hour, we're going to expand our knowledge and become confident instructional designers well versed in the world of learning management systems. And now, let me introduce you to our instructional designer Wiz and your presenter today, Anna Pali. Hi, Anna. How are you doing today?
Hi, Kate. I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling great, and I can't wait to get started. It's time for Anna to take the stage.
Okay, so I hope that you can hear me and see me well. So, hello, e-learning enthusiasts, and welcome to today's webinar session. Everything instructional designers should know about learning management systems. My name is Anna, and I'm a senior course developer at iSpring. So I'm really thrilled to have you all with us today as we go over the ins and outs of one of the most essential e-learning tools out there, learning management systems, also known as LMSs. So I got the idea for this webinar after seeing multiple comments on one of our LinkedIn posts asking about what potential employers and clients expect course developers and instructional designers to know about LMSs. I feel like this is something that's not talked about a lot, even though it's really essential, right? Familiarity with learning management systems is a must in this industry and definitely something people expect of professionals in the field. So, recruiters look for this on your resumes. And you might even get asked a question about this in your job interview. So, and it's not just important to have knowledge of LMSs when you're seeking employment. Of course, many of you will be tasked that is usage of an LMS at your current job or searching for one if your company doesn't already have one. So, all right, let's dive into everything about LMSs that you definitely need to know as an instructional designer. So, today we are going to go over the following. Of course, we'll talk about what an LMS is and what types of LMSs there are out there on the market. Then we will dive into how companies use LMSs and what the benefits are. After that, I will actually show you our LMS, iSpring Learn, so you can see a bit of how LMSs look and function. Then we will talk about how LMSs affect instructional design. After that, we will go over a few questions employers might ask you during a job interview about your knowledge and experience with LMSs. And last but not least, I will share more resources with you if you want to find out more about this essential tool. So, before we start, I'm really curious what kind of experience you have with LMSs. So, have you ever used an LMS before? So, my colleague Kate will launch a poll in a second, so feel free to vote there. For sure, no right answer, like no correct answer. So, have you ever used an LMS before? Yes or no? Okay, I see you voting. Amazing. Okay, so let's have 5 more seconds. And I believe that right now I can say who is the winner, but probably it may change. Okay, so as far as I can see, the majority of our attendees today used the LMS before, which is amazing. So, and I have a question for you for participants who answered yes. So, why do you use your LMS? Like to upload courses and test them, to track learners' progress, to generate reports on course efficiency, to provide learners with feedback and assessments, or probably for all of the above. So let me know, why do you use it? Okay, I see that we have some comments in the chat regarding this question, and most of you answered all of the above, at least at the moment. Okay, awesome. I actually very happy that we have both teams. Somebody who used LMS before, somebody who did not. I hope this webinar will help you and you will be able to start using an LMS. Okay, we have more comments coming. Laura mentioned I create LMS courses. Amazing. Christine mentioned audit audit assistance. That's great. Awesome. Okay. I think that we can take a look at the results of our poll. So as far as I can see, most of you use LMS for all mentioned options. Okay, great. So thank you for your answers and thank you for being so active in the chat and in the poll. But right now, let's dive into our webinars. Okay, so what is an LMS? There's a lot of information out there about learning management systems. So a quick Google search might have left you feeling overwhelmed. So, but you don't need to worry. I will do my best to break everything down for you. So, an LMS is a platform for digital learning. It enables organizations to efficiently manage, deliver, and track educational and training content. So, it's kind of like your online university where you can upload, store, and sometimes even create online courses. Then you can organize them into structured training programs, assign content to learners, and keep track of their progress and results. So, as an example, let's say a professor wants to distribute a certain online course and track students' progress. After creating the online course, they need a place to upload it, right? And they need to find a way to send the course to their students. Then they also need to find a way to see who has completed the course and how they did. They can do all of this with an LMS. Now let's talk about LMS types and formats. So let's get a bit more technical and talk about different kinds of LMSs. So this is definitely something like employers expecting you to know. So first, LMSs differ depending on how the LMS is provided. So there are open source and commercial LMSs. Open source LMSs are fully flexible and customizable solutions. They're typically free to use. While commercial LMSs app platforms that come in form of a license you have to pay for. So here's a quick comparison of how they differ. So open source LMSs, they can be adjusted to the user's particular needs thanks to the open code. Usually they're license free, but you have to spend a lot of time on server and hosting architecture maintenance. And for sure, as soon as you need to take care of the maintenance and servers, you need an IT technician who will deploy, service, and maintenance the LMS. So you need to be ready for this. And if we're talking about commercial LMSs, an out of the box solution that comes with a certain set of features. Um, Usually it has fixed pricing and doesn't incur additional cost, but depending on the LMS, some um, features can require additional fee. Um, but if it's talking about infrastructure, servers, and maintenance of it, usually commercial LMSs served by a vendor that provides tech support to customers and takes care of their sustainable operation. Okay, so commercial LMSs are cloud-based SaaS solutions by default, but you can also have them hosted locally. So when selecting a SaaS program, you leave it to your vendor to deal with server load, backups, and security, like everything of this. In the second scenario, if you have um, your LMS, like commercial LMS hosted locally, you store all the data on your company's own servers and host the system yourself. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. But if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Okay, now it's time to talk about formats, course formats. Um, the reason that formats are important is because e-learning content has a lot of different types of media incorporated into it, right? That needs to be seamlessly integrated, uploadable, and for sure, shareable. This is why um, content formats like SCORM and Experience API, also known as XAPI, were developed. But for sure, there's some different formats like other formats like SMI5 and AICC, but they're not that common in the future. Oh, sorry, in the current moment. The SCORM format is the most popular one, and this is why let's talk about SCORM in more detail. So, SCORM means Shareable Content Object Reference Model. It is an international standard for e-learning courses. If your course is published in the SCORM format, you can be sure that almost any learning management system will recognize it. Um, but what does SCORM do? Basically, it converts everything in your course, from text to videos to interactions, into an interactive e-learning course that you can share with your learners. Right? So LMSs, they kind of need default, like universal format, um, which will help LMS to recognize if the course is completed or not, track the progress, and etc. etc. Um, like simple PowerPoint or PDF format, they don't send this information to your LMS. This is why the SCORM format was developed, and right now it's really widely used in the modern LMSs because it's kind of um, standardized all this process about sending information and tracking progress on your LMS. Okay, hope this makes sense. I just saw a comment that um, there's somebody who doesn't know anything about the format, so this is why I wanted to explain it a little bit more, why it's important and why you need to have a specific format. Okay, now let's move on to our next question. So why organizations use LMSs? We will talk about the benefits. So as someone in the field of instructional design, you probably have a good idea of what companies use e-learning for. And an LMS is simply one component of these types of projects. But what specifically do LMSs help organizations achieve? Like, what are the particular benefits? So let me tell you about the main ones. For sure, improved organizational efficiency. Like any company, school, or small business that offers training needs, but offers training needs a way to manage the training, right? And an LMS is the one-stop shop for everything you need for learning, including storing, sharing content, and for sure, tracking the results. In addition to everything being in one place for the administrator, learners, enjoy a more unified learning experience when interacting with one single portal for all their training needs. And from an instructional designer's perspective, this is ideal. Learners who can easily find and interact with training content are much more likely to complete the training. Plus, the ability to revisit the content helps fight the forgetting curve. Doesn't it sound amazing, right? Um, so the next benefit that we are going to talk about is easy implementation and delivery. Learning management systems make implementing training a piece of cake. After the instructional designer delivers the course files to the organization, the LMS administrator loads, upload the course files into the LMS and schedules the training rollout. After that, learners are notified that a new training is available and then it's due, right? So it's pretty easy. And one more thing is tracking data and learner progress. So I know I already mentioned it for today for 1,000 times, but you can track your learner's progress um, in your LMS. But this is a really benefit of it. LMSs can collect data on things like who completed each training and how long employees spent on the content. Sometimes sometimes the LMSs also offers insights into how participants are responding to knowledge checks or and of course I'm sorry assessments. Um, so tracking data is essential to the organization, right? It can because your organization in this case can see how well their learners are doing and how successful its training program is. And for the instructional designer, learner data can be used to improve their own courses. So, isn't it amazing? But let's talk about the next question. So, I will cover some other LMS benefits, but particularly for businesses. And of course, this list mirrors the benefits of successful e-learning program in general. Sometimes there can be more specific depending on, let's say, the industry or your company specific goals. So let's talk about improved employee performance. This in LMS, companies can onboard new hires faster and increase productivity, as well as train and upskill seasoned staff on an ongoing basis. Decreased compliance risks. Companies can easily deliver compliance and safety trainings to adhere to, let's say, ISO and other regulations. This will keep the workers safe and maintain the companies free of violation. Greater employee satisfaction and retention. So, by supporting the professional development of their employees and offering them the continuous learning, companies can increase employees' happiness and decrease their turnover rate. Reduced training costs. So, who doesn't like reduced costs? So, this self-paced digital courses and virtual training sessions, there's no need to spend money on budget draining expenses like um, venues, logistics, planning, travel, and etc. Reduced training time. So employees don't have to take a break from their work to take a course. They can take courses anytime, anywhere, even on their mobile devices. And if you have your courses in the podcast format, they can actually learn directly while working, right? And the last but not least for now, standardized knowledge. So, by delivering training online, companies can be sure that employees in different locations and different time zones are being given the same information. So, to see how an LMS works in practice, let's take a look at the iSpring Learn LMS. So, as I go through the interface of iSpring Learn, you are more than welcome to follow along with me. So, you can register a trial for iSpring Learn on our website or just by clicking on the link at the bottom left corner right now to sign up for a free trial. Um, there's no credit card required and only takes a few seconds to register it. So you just need to enter your name, email, and phone number, and then click get started. Okay, I think that we are ready to start. So first of all, let's take a look at the list of what iSpring Learn um, includes and what's generally like all the LMSs include. So for sure, there is a learning portal, a tool for creating courses and quizzes, but it can be optional. Not all the LMSs has have this feature. Integration with online meetings, meeting platforms like Zoom or MS Teams, reporting and analytics, and sometimes there can be a mobile app for your learners. iSpring has all of them, and when we will take a look at iSpring Learning in Action, let's set up an example for today, all right? Let's say we are an HR representative and our company has an intern who needs to go through an onboarding program. So we decided to go with iSpring Learn, and now let's set this up and see how you can do this on the platform. So first of all, I need to log in to my admin portal, right? Here we are. Like after I used a single sign-on integrated with my corporate account, or after just setting up my login and password, we are here on the dashboard. So after you log in, the first thing you see as administrator is dashboard, but it gives an overview of the number of courses, users, and groups in the system. You can also access assignments that are ready for evaluation and content that was uploaded to the LMS. On the left side, I have feature tabs such as learning content, trainings, users, reports, knowledge base, and so on, settings, and etc. So I won't go into all of that now, but you definitely can see how lots of tools are here. All right, all right. Let's go back to our business and see how to create an HR intern onboarding program. So I create something called a learning track. A learning track consists of several courses. You can either upload scoring packages, videos, audio materials, and reference documents from your computer to the LMS, or create a course or a quiz right in iSpring Learn. So here's our learning track looks. We can always add new courses and stages and update the courses if you need to make like any changes in the content. If we want, we can change the course completion order. For example, we can select sequential, and this way, every course will be accessible after a learner completes the previous courses. You can also add a face-to-face training session in the same way you would add a presentation or a video. So I think that will be good. We created the learning track, and of course, now we need someone to take this training, right? So let's assign it to our intern. But before I do that, we don't have this intern in our system yet, so we need to go ahead and add them. So what do we need to do? First, let's go to the Users tab and go to the Department section. In iSpring Learn, you can create a company directory of the different departments and groups, which make it easier to assign, manage, and track training progress. So here I have iSpring Solutions, of course, and some of the departments. And here's how easy it is to add a user. You just need to enter their name and job title and click Save. Of course, you can upload users in bulk by clicking on Import. The last thing to do is to enroll my intern in the learning track. So I will go back to the Learning Content tab, select our HR onboarding learning track, and click on Enrollment. Select Enroll Users. You should see this a blue button right now on your screen on the very right. After that, a new window will pop up, and here we need to select our intern and assign the learner track to this person. Okay, after that, we will select the start date. You can set up the due date to make sure when this course will be available and how long it will be available. Now it's time to take a look how the learning track will look like from the learner's point of view, right? So here we go. If we switch to the learner's point of view, um, this is how we will see our platform. No dashboard, no left side menu, nothing of this. We will be able to see my courses, my trainings, some news, and etc. Like all the other options which you will go to enable in your account. So, but if we open a specific training learning track, this is how it will look like. Here we have our courses, and we can also see their status. So if we can see their status, I believe it will be necessary to talk about their reports, right? Let's take a look at this section. So iSpring Learn collects data on every content item and every user. And as an administrator, you can go to reports and you will see the full list in your account. So all the reports are sorted into groups by user-related data, content-related data, and event-related data. You can check out each individual report from this dashboard. There's different types of reports. I can go into each individual user's profile to see data on their performance in more detail. So here we can see how our intern is performing. So they select a specific user and see their progress. All right, everybody, we have seen how an LMS looks and how it works. So if you have any questions, let us know. You're more than welcome to send us a message. Now let's go back to our point, LMS for instructional designers. So as an instructional designer, it's important to consider some aspects of the learning management system that will be used to deliver your course content. Here are some key considerations for designing this LMS in mind. So, first, understanding the capabilities and limitations of your LMS. That's okay. Every software has some limitations, right? Um, so, before designing a course, it's important to truthfully understand the capabilities and limitations of the LMS that he will be used to deliver the course content. So this will inform the design decisions that are made throughout the process. For example, um, if LMS doesn't have some gamification features, like it doesn't have point, doesn't have pages or leaderboards, it's going to be hard to implement gamification in more than just one module, one course, right? Let's talk about the second consideration. So I think that's the most common one. Um, Identifying the target audience and their technological proficiency. I think that we all know that as instructional designers, we had to know. We we must to know our target audience. But the target audience's technological proficiency should also be taken into consideration. This will influence the design of the course and the level of technological complexity that can be incorporated, right? If courses will be taken on a smartphone and the LMS doesn't have a mobile app that allows users to download courses to take them offline, like then they don't have the internet connection, you need to make sure that learners will have good internet connection and all content will be played. Maybe it will be better to get rid of lots of animations or large video files, just to make sure that your course will run smoothly on every device. The next consideration, which is one of the main ones, creating content that is compatible with the LMS. For sure, designers should create content that is compatible with the LMS to ensure that the course functions properly. This includes following the LMS's file format requirements, as well as making sure that any multimedia content is optimized for the LMS. So today we talked about SCORM and XAPI, and I mentioned that SCORM is the most popular format for LMSs, right? And it's true, but there still can be some LMSs that doesn't support it. So before you will go ahead and publish your course, make sure that you select the format that your LMS supports. Okay, let's go to the next one. Testing the course before the launch. So before launching the course, it's important to test it on the LMS to ensure that it functions properly. This includes testing all interactive elements, as well as making sure that the course is compatible with different browsers and devices. And for sure, don't forget to check the report to see if all the needed results have been taken into account. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Providing clear instructions for navigating the LMS. Finally, designers should provide clear instructions for navigating the LMS to ensure that learners can easily access and complete the course. These include the instructions for logging in, accessing the course content, and submitting assessments. So, by designing these LMSs in mind, instructional designers can create courses that are not only engaging and effective, but also easily accessible and compatible with the LMS used to deliver them. And last but not least, designing this accessibility in mind. So, designing this accessibility is crucial to ensure that all the learners can access the course content. This includes creating content that is compatible with screen readers, as well as providing alternative text for images and captions for videos. So, in view of some of the questions we were asked on LinkedIn about this webinar topic, and I just wanted to be sure to include some potential job interview questions on LMSs that employers might ask you. So, better be prepared, right? Here's some of the common ones, but will definitely help you get an idea of what kind of knowledge you're expecting to have of LMSs. So while I will read the questions out loud, you are more than welcome to specify and let me know and share with us if you had, like in your interview, if you had any questions about LMSs. I I don't remember. So I started as a technical support, so I didn't have it on the technical support role, but about instructional designers, I re- for real I had this one. Okay, so feel free to share your questions in the chat. As per now, the questions that I was thinking about and the question that I will ask my colleague um, will be the next ones. So, how much experience do you have with storyboards, script writing, afferent tools, and LMSs? How do you ensure that the courses you design are compatible with the LMS used to deliver them? Have you integrated an LMS with other systems or platforms such as HR software or content afferent tools? What was the outcome? What strategies do you employ to engage learners and encourage participation within an LMS? So, were you asked any of these questions when applying for a course developer or instruction design position? Do you remember any questions related to LMS from your interviews? Is there any emoji in the chat? Will be fine. So when I was interviewed for instructional design role, I definitely had the one of them. So okay, as far as I can see, you didn't have these questions on your interview, so you're a lucky one, right? Okay, so let's move on. So let me share with you some of the ways on how you can learn more about learning management systems. So we have a list here for you in case you would like to expand your knowledge of LMSs even further. So for sure, the first one, take online courses. Many LMS platforms offer online courses but teach you how to use their specific platform. Enroll in these courses to gain practical knowledge about the features and capabilities of this exact LMS. Explore LMS platforms. this can this one is kind of obvious, right? So, but I will still recommend it. I still need to mention it because take the time to explore different LMS platforms and familiarize yourself with their different features and functionalities. Sign up for free trials or demos offered by LMS vendors to get hands on experience with all the platforms. The next, um, the next option, I love it very much. So, collaborate with LMS instructional design teams. Reach out to LMS instructional design teams and offer to collaborate on project or assist in the development of courses. This will give you the opportunity to work directly with different LMS platforms and gain valuable experience. So I will really recommend to take a look at this option. I think it's very nice. Okay. Um, the next thing, the thing what we all do today, Attend webinars and conferences. Attend webinars and conferences focused on instructional design and LMS technology. These events often provide insights into different LMS platforms and offer opportunities to work with professionals in the field. You can also go ahead and talk with this representative of a specific platform, right? Isn't this great? And last but not least, read instructional design blogs and articles. Stay up to date with the latest trends and advancements in instructional design and LMS technology. Like read industry blogs, follow thought leaders, and subscribe to newsletters to stay informed about new features and capabilities of different LMS platforms. Also, feel free to add learners, sorry, to add your colleagues or other instructional designers um, in your LinkedIn. So expand your network. You can actually do it right now. Just share a link to your LinkedIn, and I believe that you will find some colleagues right here in the chat, right? Okay, so that does it for us today. And I would like to say that even though the primary focus of any instructional designer is the creation of good learning content, it's really important not to forget about how the content is going to be delivered. That's why instructional designers have to have a good understanding of what LMS is and how it works. So, thank you so much for attending our session on LMSs for instructional designers. I think that we covered a lot of ground, and I hope you found our session informative. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about probably our LMS, please don't hesitate to write your questions in the chat. And I also can see that you started to um, share your LinkedIn profiles, which is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anna. That was great. So much valuable information. And yeah, I hope that our participants got something today. And you're more than welcome to share all your comments, all your impressions, and you can do it in a survey. I will share a link in the chat. And if you can stay longer, I want to ask you to fill out it to help us improve our webinars. Yeah, thank you. I see your comments. I appreciate all your thank yous. So yeah, and I also have a little announcement. Okay, I will share slides right now. So I want to invite you all to join our annual online conference, iSpring Days, that brings together thousands of attendees and seasoned e-learning professionals for 2 days on the 2nd and the 3rd of May. You will learn from top industry speakers sharing their expertise and exploring human-centered approaches to training. So the concept of this year's conference is People Come First. We're inviting industry experts and everyday users of iSpring, and not only iSpring, to share their expertise, experience, and perspective to address this idea from different angles. And the conference is absolutely free, and I will wait to see you there. And I will share a link in the chat right now if you want to register. So, okay, I can't see any questions in the chat, but if you have some in the future, you can write them in our to our email. I shared it. I will share it again in the chat. And also, you can leave your questions in a Google form that I've already shared. Um, so I think we can wrap up. And I thank you again for sharing all these insights with us. And thank you, everyone, for being such an attentive audience. Hope you have enjoyed and take care. See you next time.
See you. Bye bye.